Rival Signing Day show continues with Oregon coach Dan Lanning. And Dan, you made it clear that you're staying at Oregon. I mean, you had a big opportunity. We don't have to really get into it, but what what did it mean to make that like declarative statement that this is the place for me? I'm not fooling around, and I'm going to win here.
Yeah, it's been really clear for me from the beginning, and I hope everybody else recognizes that the opportunity that I have here and that our staff has here and our players have here at Oregon is really special, and it's not something you leave.
Why did you feel that way? Is it just all the resources and what you're building there, or what really went into that decision? Because, honestly, we could say it. I mean, turning down a job like Alabama is a once in a lifetime opportunity as well.
Well, coaching at Oregon is a once in a lifetime opportunity,
Yeah.
and there's a number of factors. But again, you can talk about sitting down on the couch and telling somebody you're going to be there. That matters to me. When you say something, doing it. You talk about my 3 kids and living in 8 different states and not having to do that anymore. Being in a place where you feel like you have the ability to go compete for championships. We have that. The resources, the support, the administration. I think I work with the best AD in football, in Rob Mullins. In athletics, he makes my job easy. I've got an unbelievable support staff that, they've been offered a lot of opportunities to go other places that they've turned down to stay here at Oregon. So when you change a job, when you leave a place, you're not just affecting one person, you affect a lot of people. And I also don't, take that for granted that me making a decision to be here creates an environment for a lot of people, whether it's a player, support staff member, my family, their families, to where we can keep building this thing and growing it like we want to.
Yeah, that's a great point. You didn't go ballistic in the transfer portal, but definitely targeted a lot of hits there, a lot of big time hits. I don't know if you could talk about them specifically, but in general, how do you feel you did there, and especially at quarterback?
Yeah, I think time will tell a little bit. I'm really certainly excited about the quarterbacks that we were at that room. We've always said we'd like to be, we have 4 scholarship quarterbacks. I think that's important. You have to have a quarterback to win football games in college football. You can't do it without one. And being able to add Dylan and Dante are 2 guys that we were familiar with that had a lot of interest in being here. And think they saw the same things I see in this place. And that's something they want to be a part of. Throughout the rest of the class, you want to make sure that you're creating competition on the team, because what's going to make us better at football is practice. So creating competition with, some great players that can come in and compete and let us perform at a high level, and then positioning ourselves for what we want to do as a team when we play on Saturdays in the fall.
You really kind of hit the jackpot with Bo Nix out of the portal, and you know, I don't want to say started his career over again, but definitely got a fresh start at Oregon that really panned out in a big time way. Dylan Gabriel put up huge numbers and probably will continue. But I want to talk a little bit about Dante Moore and just getting a second start there, and maybe him kind of coming to the realization, hey, maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I do need to sit back and learn a little bit more. Does that just speak to his maturity and understanding of the game now?
Yeah, I think that this process is hard, especially for a guy coming out of high school when you're getting pulled in a lot of different directions. But I think, Dante's heart was always here. This is a place that he wanted to be. And I think going through a season, somewhere else maybe made him realize that even more, that, hey, Oregon's where I want to play. And Coach Lanning and the staff and, us, like that piece for him, I think that was important. I think we have great relationships there. And I think it's a great example of, in recruiting, you don't know what the path will always look like, but those relationships are something you can lean on down the road. So I'm really excited that he's here with our program. I think he obviously has tremendous talent. I think I'm excited about seeing his growth, seeing how he gets better in his time here and, blazing his own journey here at Oregon.
The pursuit of Gatlin Bear was a long pursuit, and maybe Oregon wasn't always the number one school, but you got him. You're going to light up a cigar for him, and what can he do for that offense for you?
Well, I probably wasn't my wife's first choice either, but I think we ended up being Gatlin's first choice as all the tea leaves started to sort. I think it goes back to just a measure of consistency, knowing what his family was looking for, knowing what he was looking for, and knowing that really Oregon checked every one of those boxes for him. I feel like Gatlin's probably been trending this way for a while, and he just had to make sure that he had clarity for himself, because I know it's not something he wanted to go through multiple times. And he's got an unbelievable family. He's been training his entire life to be a superb athlete, and he's worked extremely hard for it. So to see it all come to fruition, I'm really excited about. My celebration tonight will be just a good night's sleep. knowing that I got him on my team.
You and me both. Last thing, Dan, moving to the Big Ten, do you change philosophy in recruiting at all? Do you try to get bigger and stronger and tougher up front, or do you have certain principles that aren't going to change?
Yeah, you recruit to what wins in football. So believe it or not, we were trying to get bigger and stronger and faster before. So
Yeah.
we want to keep getting bigger, stronger, and faster. We want to win in the trenches. You know, that's something we were doing before the move ever happened. So I think winning football looks a certain way. We have the ability to create that here at Oregon. We're going to go try to sign the best and the brightest across the nation and bring them here.
That's Oregon coach Dan Lanning. Dan, thanks so much for joining us.
You bet. Thanks, Adam.